Hi, my name is Lee. Welcome. This is where I live. I live in the mountains of Wakayama, rural Wakayama, in a place called Ryujinmura, the Dragon God Village. So this is a 120-year-old kominka, old Japanese farmhouse, built with a kayabuki-clad roof, miscanthus straw roof. I love living here because it allows me to connect to nature better. I am practically on a stage in nature. The house is built right in the open here, and I get to see the mountains all around. Flowers bloom all times of the year, and that affects what I'm going to do in the next stage of my life, which is running a cafe here. But I've been asked why did I move? What do I like about living here in this very rural location? So I have to say it's because of the architectural. So 120 years ago, they built houses with natural materials. So wood, stuff like straw, and I love how the house is joined together without any nails. I love how the house breathes. I do not need any air conditioning. It's midsummer right now. It's very hot in the daytime. It gets up to about 32 degrees Celsius. But inside the house, it's a good 5 degrees Celsius cooler. And at night, temperatures dip to about 19-20 degrees Celsius, even in the hottest of summers, so there's no need for air conditioning. This is the genkan of the house, obviously, and the favorite place for me to stand is actually where Esaka-san is, because you can see the roof, the thatched roof. So the thatched roof is very black because in the past there was smoke from the irori, and the smoke from the irori would go up this way, and it's charcoal fire, so when you start it there's a lot of smoke. It goes up this way and goes up there, and the soot up there protects the roof because the blackening of the roof prevents insects from going up there. No bees go up there, the cats don't go up there, so the smell prevents them from going inside, and now it's totally black. But this is what's keeping the roof intact, the smoke. I should also say that the beams here, all these things are huge, and some of them are sakura. So this sakura goes into the ground and it goes up. You can't see it right here, but it goes all the way to the top. So can you imagine how big this sakura tree must have been? Because this is just the middle. I know that this house is at least 120 years old, but it could be older. The person who built this was a carpenter in this area. He felled the sugi trees, he felled sakura trees, they sold them, and that's what they used to make this house, the money from all the forestry work. So this is an example of how not to build an irori. So this here, the problem now is that I can only use charcoal here, not wood. Because wood will spark and the sparks can go on the tatami. So if you are making tea ceremonies, okay. But if you want to grill fish or meat, don't ever build a room with tatami and a irori together. So that's one lesson. Yeah, so you guys know the fish, right? I don't have to explain why fish. If there's fire, what puts out fire? Water, so fish. Yeah. And you may wonder what this space is for. Why am I not using this? So if you come over here, you can see a big empty space. Instead of using Ziploc bags, no Ziploc bags in the past, they place them in jars and then they place them up here. Yeah, so this will smoke all the insects away, and the rats will not go up there also because it's too dirty for them. So kayabuki is simply thatched roofing from those miscanthus reeds. Miscanthus reeds grow in your field and you can't plant rice. So to grow rice, you cut off the kaya, the miscanthus, and there's no use for it, right? So you put it in your roof. So it's very thick, and you guys are standing in the sun, so it's quite hot, right? But if you move inside, the temperature is easily 5 degrees Celsius different. So in winter, it also like insulates your roof, so the heat goes up and it stays there. But right now, because the sun is shining down, it keeps you cool inside, and that's the purpose of a grass roof. The trouble of the grass roof is, of course, fire. If it catches fire, we can say goodbye to this house in 1 hour. So yeah, so benefits of kayabuki: it's very warm, it's also very cool. It used to be cheap, now it's expensive, but it used to be cheap. And everyone from a village will gather together, so you don't have to hire professionals. But now nobody knows how to do it, so that's why it's expensive now. 50 years old. And it's very old for a zinc roof, but the reason why it's still holding on is because it's quite steep. So water just comes down. if your zinc roof is like this, then you'll last 30 years. Yeah, so what happened was in 1980s, JA, Japan Agriculture, gave farmers lots of money to put zinc on their roofs because people were running out of thatch and people wanted to have a house that's not leaking. So JA gave a lot of money and the government gave a lot of money to farmers to cover it with zinc. And thanks to the zinc, we still have this. Because if they hadn't put on the zinc and they hadn't done anything here, the house would be leaking and people would abandon the house. Yeah. So the reason why I came here was because of the tea. So tea grows on all the walls here, as I mentioned, to protect the walls. All these stone walls are now protected by all this tea. And the tea here is the reason why I came to Ryujinmura. Because I love tea, I kept drinking tea. Shu-san told me to come to pick tea. I plucked tea a few times and then was attracted by the mountains. So it was the tea that brought me to the mountains. And it's the tea that I guess keeps people here because people are interested in tea now. And you can drink, like, this is the tea here, right now here. Top quality tea. And this is the reason why I'm here. So in the future, this will become the cafe. There's a reading area there, tatami. There'll be a big table here, and people can read here. It's going to be like a kisa tent, and they're going to serve tea here. So cooking done in a red house up there, and then people can sit here and enjoy tea. This house here is about 100 plus years old, and there used to be no road in the past. This was actually the river. The road that led to the house was actually here. The outside here is about 5 years old, the zinc. This galvanized zinc, the better kind, costs about 3,800 per piece, 1,000 more. So it's a lot thicker, and the coating outside helps it keep, remain nice, rust-free for about 30, 40 years. Whereas that one, after about 20 years, you'll see problems. This is the condition of the house. So please come inside, $10,000 gets you this. So coming to a house like this, you'll immediately see what the problem would be. The very low ceilings. In the past, there was no ceiling. Can you come here and see? Like, you can see upstairs. That's the kaya. So it would have felt more open, and that's what we're going to do here. We're going to open the house. So if you're looking at a house, you're buying a house, question, what are the first things you should look at? Potential house buyer. Termites, okay, how would you check?
Mukade.
Okay, mukade, okay, do this. So what you want to do with a house is check for termites and check for dampness. Feel this? Damp?
No, really. Kind of, little, no. I think it's okay. I can't tell. Well, a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
Damp, right?
yeah.
So behind, later you'll see the trees have not been cut. The behind is probably flooding. It's not good for the house. If you look at the foundations, they are not eaten up, which is a good sign. So the carpenters, their judgment is replace the floors. Because this is too wet for them. Yeah, and it will cause like dry rot in the future. Yeah, this one cost 33,000 US dollars, including tax. Yeah, so this is the kitchen, but the view was the one that sold the house for me. So this house was introduced to me by the carpenter, Takimoto-san. And the view for my friend was this. And also, like three sides, just mountains. So the friend who bought this house, he loves cycling. And he runs a small company, about 10 people. So they're planning to use this as their company retreat. And also when they're not here, I'll run this as a guest house. And as you can see, it's quite clean. It's not clean enough for you to come in without shoes yet, but I'll be cleaning it. And I think this is a house where you can move in after 2 days of cleaning. Yeah, so everything's working. The hot water is working, septic tank is working, lights all good, it's clean enough. So,
pretty rats together.
yeah, for 30,000, this was a fantastic buy. Because that house was 10,000, but to make it nice, maybe 50,000. Yeah, so this is a 320-year-old building meant for a bodhisattva, a Jizo-san, who takes care of children. So people come from Tanabe City, from Osaka City to pray for their kids. And when their kids are born, they place a little bib on the Buddha, so on the Jizo-san. So you see lots of bibs there. And this is all Kayabuki. So you can see the thatch. So the architecture inside, it's traditional Japanese joinery. You can see no nails on the main structure, plus the roof is held by a mix of wooden beams and also the wooden rafters, plus also the bamboo rafters. If you come to Ryujinmura, you should come and enjoy our fresh food, our good rice, our good pork, our good vegetables. We have very giant mushrooms that are about this size, and the shiitake mushrooms. So come and enjoy the food, come and enjoy the rivers. You can swim in the river, you can paddle down the river, go hike the Okuechi, and maybe if you come a few times, you might decide to stay.